Hi everyone, I'm Mike.
And my name's Carl, and this is a Corepunk Podcast. And today we're talking about the Will Smith slap from the Oscars. Oh, and I just I want to see what you do
intro.
then.
Best intro ever. Yeah, yeah. Nothing to do with Corepunk. We've got you tricked.
That's it. I wanted to see what your face would do then. You just kept it straight. You kept it so straight.
Yeah, I'd be good on live telly. Although you joke about it, this podcast is related to morals and what you should and shouldn't do, maybe.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way. So maybe that's why I wasn't as startled as you thought.
Yeah. What are we talking about, Mike?
So we're actually talking about. We got a question a couple of videos back when we had Dvalin on the podcast. A gentleman, I presume a gentleman, sorry if that's not the case, a person, a commenter, a viewer on our podcast called CSGO Technical, and they said, I saw on the Corepunk website that they want to make the game against pay to win. So what will they add into the game to earn money, as they haven't seen any MMORPGs without a pay-to-win mechanic? How does the Corepunk system work? So, obviously we don't have the definitive answer, but we do have some MMO experience, and we can, kind of pool our knowledge to kind of maybe suggest what they may.
We can speculate on it, can't we? We can.
Yeah, and I think there'll be some almost certain parts of it with what they've said, so what we can surmise from that, and also a bit of what's it called, creative license on maybe some speculative things that would maybe we want to see, or maybe what would actually be nice to see in Corepunk. So that's what we'll be talking about today.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the forum post that does have the question and answer stuff in there, just in case there is some stuff we want to pull and talk about. So did you want me to pull this over to the other screen, the fancy screen, so we can get into this right now? Or...
Yeah, we can do. So I thought the premise of how we'll break this down, because it's not a clear-cut answer, as very rarely are questions and stuff that we want to know, they're not as clear-cut as yes and no. I thought the best way we could actually work out maybe potentially what Corepunk is going to implement is by using games that are already out in the wild, games that exist, how they monetize their stuff. And we go kind of, the plan is to go from the first game, which is kind of the opposite of what I imagine Corepunk to be, and then we'll drift through to couple of other MMOs to where maybe we expect Artificial Core to kind of maybe pick ideas from or work on.
So I pulled it up now, so we're looking at the screen.
So we're looking at a screen. This is the shop window for probably the most recent MMO that's come out, which is Lost Ark. And the reason why I've picked this one first is because I feel this is probably how least Corepunk is going to look in terms of monetization, although there are elements in here, and across all the games we're going to look at, that, there is a common theme, but there's also irregularities, and Lost Ark is one of them. So, obviously, going back to the question is, they said they want to make it against pay to win. If anyone has got their ear to the ground in kind of with Lost Ark's release, the term pay to win was used a lot, and pay to progress, which we'll go into the kind of the finite details of the differences between those. Because it can be perceived as a pay to win game. So obviously if we take what we perceive as pay to win in this, and then just assume that Corepunk will not have any of these kind of issues or mechanics to get people spending money. What are your first thoughts on looking at this screen? Is there anything that jumps out to you? Does any of it make any sense?
Yeah, so instantly I'm sort of looking, and you can see two currencies. So I imagine one is earnable in game, or as a rewarding game, and one of them will be a purchase. There seems to be quite a big difference in price, so I imagine the one in game you have to work a bit harder for, and the one that you can pay for, if you buy a pack of say 1,000 gems, you could get 2 or 3 items maybe. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much bang on the money there.
Because that's how we can only go off what we've seen in previous things, can't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is what it looks
so
like.
it's not so much the issue with that there being 2 currencies. The issue people and players and whoever who are in the game have issue with is how it's utilized and how the discrepancy between the two. Like you say, there's a disproportionate difference between, like you say, paying real money and getting what you want, and earning money, and whether it's worth, the £10 here, is that 10 hours in game, that's £1 an hour, or is it 30 hours in the game, which is 30 pence an hour? And then you've got to try and go, well, which is worth, and whether the game and the developers tip that, so you maybe feel more inclined to have to, and I use that term loosely, but have to purchase with real world money to keep up with the crowd, as it were. So I actually hate this storefront. I'll just say it straight away.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. It's got everything you think you need. And if we look at the top here, the thing that I find interesting is they've got a recommended panel. So this is the game telling me, so if we click on it, they recommend that I need these things. If, as my character now, as I'm logged on, I recommend these. Now, if we actually take a quick look at them, the first thing that's thrown in your face is this crystalline aura. So Lost Ark is a free-to-play game. However, there is a subscription service, and that is this thing you've seen on the screen here, the crystalline aura. As you can also see, it gives you a lot of benefits. Now, this is where the first inkling or the first murmurings of pay to win come into a game in an MMO, because if you're getting all those things because you paid for it, you're not getting those things if you're playing for free. And that already creates a disproportion in, a free player putting in the hours, because the argument is these benefits you can't get no matter how hard you work in the game.
Right.
So, for example, the triport fee is free, which is basically quick travel. Now, no matter how much you play the game as a free player, you will always have to pay unless you get a subscription. So you can already kind of see the reason why people are feeling, well, actually, that doesn't seem fair, because they can travel around, save their money, which essentially you could buy gear with, whilst I'm having to pay to transport. So you can kind of already see that initial discrepancy. And I'd agree in that respect. Like there's certain things here, you get more XP per minute for your stronghold. Your cooldown for your Hearthstone equivalent, like your home travel teleport, reduced by 50%, so you can use that more. And like all these kind of things all add up. There's even one there where you get to try more daily quests than a free player. So you can kind of already see.
Yeah. So
this isn't where Corepunk is going to be
going. And I think
that
there's obviously a difference here straight away, is that Lost Ark is a free to play game where we know that Corepunk will cost and will be, it's not subscription based, but will be what I can't think what the terminology is for a game, an MMO that you just pay for.
It's games. It's kind of a games as a live service, so you pay that initial fee, entry cost, whatever. I don't know how you want to. You pay for the license to own the game essentially, and then you get everything for free.
Yeah,
as they develop it.
So I don't mind the idea of battle passes and stuff like that. They're not usually the sort of pay to win that we're talking about, are we? Like, no. So something like that, like, all right, you get, if you paying the monthly where you get free fast travel and stuff, I wouldn't be too angry about, because you're basically supporting the game so it can keep going for what is a free to play game.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your standouts with Lost Ark that this is unreal, as if you can just buy this and basically win? What is the most pay to win thing that you found in Lost Ark?
The most pay to win. Now that is so. Obviously, these are my recommendations. I would probably say the fact that you can. So if I click the currency exchange here,
and we're not obviously before people get confused, we're obviously not talking. We're not trying to dive in deep on what you get in Lost Ark for buying this.
No.
We're just looking for an example so we can then
of what is pay to win or perceived that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you were right that there's two currencies. There's royal crystals, which are real money bought stuff. There is, I think they're just called gems or just crystals, the blue ones. Yeah. Crystals. They are earned through certain quests, like kind of higher end stuff that you can obviously, the alternative is there. But there's also just gold, which is a standard thing in most MMOs. That's like your average day-to-day stuff. So my personal biggest issue, or what I would consider the most pay to win, is the disparity between you trading gold for the blue gems and how much that costs, and how much gold you get for the royal crystals, the kind of orangey blue gem.
Yeah.
And it's night and day. So for you to get a decent amount of blue crystals with gold to buy a skin. So if we go back to the skin shop, say I wanted to buy this skin. So whilst it says only 840 and the one across from it says 2000, you think, oh, well, that's cheaper. But actually to get 840 gems with gold, as opposed to what you can get for the royal crystals, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's at least double.
Yeah.
So someone would have to essentially work twice. Well, when you're buying something, it's instant, so you can't even really gauge it on that it's double the amount of effort. It's just to get the equivalent numbers. It's a lot more work. It's not like you could spend a tenner. And I think £10, £5-10 transactions reasonable for things like cosmetics and stuff. I don't think that's crazy. I think that the work that you need to put in, if you weren't able to buy real world stuff to get the equivalent, it's like twice, three. It could even be 3-4 times. I don't know, but it's not balanced by any stretch, and that is my biggest gripe with this, because whilst buying skins and that don't matter, what you can also buy, if I go back to the home screen here, you see this Mari's Secret Shop.
Yeah.
These can only be bought with the blue gems.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can trade the royal crystals into the blue crystals for cheap. Now, all these things you're seeing on this list are crucial and absolutely 110% necessary to level up your character.
So you have no choice here then. So if you want to level up, you'd have to buy something from the shop.
So you don't have to. You get a limited amount earned in the game by doing daily quests, daily dungeons. Again, if you've got the crystalline aura thing, you get more of that anyway, so you're already ahead. But if you've done your daily quests through abyssal dungeons and whatever else that give potentially these shards and fragments, the only other way to buy any more is with the blue gems. Now, the gold to blue gems, like I say, is really hard. There's a harsh trade-off, whereas the royal crystals to blue gems, you can trade it a lot easier, get a lot more value out of it. So that is why people perceive it as a pay to win, pay to progress, because if you don't have money, or these are literal things. I can't level my character past level X. I am level XYZ without these things.
Right.
So that's the big issue.
Right.
So this is what we don't expect Corepunk to have.
So that's just one
They
example.
won't have these. There's one example, and the final bugbear that I'll finish on before we move on to the next game is this, because this is the other side of it, is it's potluck. So you know that recommended thing, there was some chests on there.
Yeah, you briefly mentioned this the other day, didn't you, when we were talking about it?
So you're not even guaranteed to get the odds. So if you
So if you bought a chest, so you're buying a level 2 chest, you're not even guaranteed to get the good stuff out of the level 2. Right. Well, that's now, obviously, absurd, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you've bought that with blue gems, you've worked hard for it, and again, you probably can get maybe 2 or 3 chests equivalent to the one worked hard blue, and I'm not saying it's quite double, like I'm just surmising here, but in terms of effort for reward, and then the fact that you've only got a 13.5% chance to actually maybe get the gem you want as well, kind of buys into that, if I actually just chuck 20 quid into a game, I can get 5 of these, and that's going to give me a better chance. So it's all chance-based, and I think that is why people don't like or have not had a great reception to it, because if you could do it in-game as well as that, that's fine, because the casual people maybe have disposable income, they can keep up, but the people who work hard that still can't get it. Yeah. So that's where we don't expect Artificial Core and Lost Ark to go to.
Yeah. So as you bring up the other game, I'll swap it over to the other screen.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's an interesting term, pay to win as well.
I have found a quote that Corepunk have put out. I don't know if we want to say this right now, but they have settled. It says, this is direct quote. This is from the post that Illumio put up on the Corepunk website. If you've not seen it, I'll put a link in the description below. It says, we've settled on a buy to play plus cosmetics. So, but in brackets, Battle Pass in-game shop. We will not sell any boosters. Nothing that can affect your gameplay. Only cosmetic items can be bought through the game shop or achieved with battle passes. Which is what I'd kind of hope for. I'm all for buying cosmetics as long as you're not. Yeah. And I'm excited to see
that's what you'll see how, as we get through the next couple of games, how more towards that we actually end up with an MMO.
Yeah. But that was a while ago that quote was put out. So whether, this is... it was last update.
I feel like they wouldn't... I mean, we don't know. But I feel like they wouldn't change their stance on that. You can earn a lot as a company through doing that. And people go, well, how do they keep content fresh if they're not getting, the $9.99 a month or whatever? But the argument also is that if you've got enough in the game and enough good gaming loops, so you're actually doing in the first place, then people are going to play it. And like you say, the people who play and enjoy the game, and then they see something in the store and go, oh my God, that sword skin looks amazing. How much is it? £4.
Awesome.
100,000 people buy that.
Yeah.
Right, so my next one...
Can we just swap us over?
You can swap us over.
There you go.
Is a very familiar... The Cat Pack, very familiar game to most people who have even heard of the term MMO. It's World of Warcraft. Now, the reason why I've done this second is because I feel this is a hybrid of the next game we're going to look at and the game we've just looked at.
Right.
Because there are cosmetics and general things that are beneficial, like Corepunk style. And there is also boosters and upgrades and that, which is more Lost Ark. So like you see instantly here, the Cat Pack, it was £93. It's now £32. What a bargain.
£93. Well, for now, just that many pets?
Yeah, so you've skins? Got three mounts and 4 mini pets. Yeah, they are the skins.
£93.
Yeah.
Who's got that to spend on? Sorry, I've just screamed down your ear hole. But
people do, but this is the thing: is these do not help you win the game. These are purely for you to have an if you've got a character aesthetic, or you want to go on one of these cool mounts. I believe this mount on the right there, the orange one, changes. There you go. It changes color, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Like there is, but it's cosmetic. Yeah, but Carl, if you buy it now, it's only £32.
Yeah, I buy it for 32. I would buy it for 32.
This is one of the few things that this is where we're looking at cosmetics. Now, I think the price point in WoW has always been high, but people buy it, so that's why they price it like that. If people didn't buy it, then they would make it cheaper. So obviously the reason why it's priced at this is because people are buying it at this price.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I will say. Again, here we go. We know WoW's a subscription-based game.
All right, yeah.
So a 6-month subscription, and you get that cool mount as well.
Well, that's not too bad.
That's not bad. It is a subscription-based game. Subs are usually
£15 or something.
No, it's a lot cheaper now. I think it's £6 or £7 if you buy it on a monthly basis.
Oh, really?
So you say if you knew you were going to play for 6 months, actually this is a pretty decent investment. It's going to save you a bit of money because you're going to have to buy the subscription anyway. So if you foresee yourself playing the game in 6 months, which the expansion is due to come out announced next month, so
yeah,
these are things that's a necessity. And if you go and commit for 6 months, it's kind of a nice thing. You get a cool little mount. Now these again are all things, they're not pay to win. You've got mounts, they're expensive. They're £19 a mount.
And do they give you
ludicrous?
Do they give you anything like a mount in this game? Do they have spells, anything like that? No,
10 a penny. 10 a penny. They just look different, or they might be a specific skin.
That's so much in it. It's so much. You can get on with a fiver, £5, 5, 6 quid.
Yeah, I think anything. So like the pets as well, they're £9 for a mini pet.
Yeah,
but again, because people buy them, this is why they price them at this point.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's all the lovely, nice stuff. Now we get to the less nice stuff. Sadly,
there's less. No.
So this is where, arguably, pay to progress, pay to win comes in. You can get an instant level 60 character for £49. So when expansions come out and you don't want to have to level, you just want to be right at the end game doing all the cool stuff. If you've got 50 quid, that's yours, mate. No worries.
That isn't one. I'd be thinking, why doesn't your new expansion come with a level boost? Because I remember
some do. Some do. However, the boost you get with an expansion only goes to 50. So you have to play the new content. Whereas this boost goes right to the top.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, right. So you can skip the expansion.
So they're not the same.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're not the same. But if you've got 50 quid, it's yours, mate. Right. Whereas if you don't have 50 quid, like most people don't have to spend on a number that appears on your character, essentially. This can be seen as a bit of a frustrating, because the thing is you can get certain achievements. Like if you're the world first to hit XYZ dungeons, you get a world server first achievement. Now, if you can see where the pieces fall in.
Yeah, because then
money you can.
Yeah, you buy that and then you go do the raid straight away, don't you, or whatever?
Yeah.
Dungeon.
Yeah, which is fine. And the other stuff, faction change, race change, whilst ludicrously expensive, it's £9 to change your name.
Hell.
£9. It's ludicrous, but again, people go, I don't want to make a new character. I just want to be called Bob instead of Jim.
Would you like name changes just to be free?
I think they should. I think you should have a cooldown. I think they shouldn't be every month. I think, because your character changes, your own identity changes in 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should be able to once every, like you say, 180 days, you get and it doesn't bank up. So if you wait a year, you don't get 2 name changes. You just get one.
Yeah,
That'll
one.
just be on
Yeah,
a 180-day cooldown. I
yeah.
think that's fair.
I think so.
It doesn't cost Blizzard £9 to change your name.
No.
Does not at all.
No. Yeah.
No, just no. Now, that's fine. The other things, character transfers, again, not necessary, but whatever. Now, the biggest pay to win, so this is going back to the Lost Ark end, is this. Now, I'll just let you read it and you tell me what you think about that.
The WoW token can be sold on their auction house for gold. The auction buyer can then redeem it for 30 days of the game time. This token may not be traded or redeemed. It may only be listed for sale on the auction house. Right? So what?
So,
I don't actually understand what it is. You just sell it.
So, it's a token that you pay £17 for.
Yeah.
And you can sell that. You can redeem it for 30 days game time, which, if you think a month of gameplay is £7-8, or you can just trade it, sell it on the auction house for 250,000 gold. So
right.
instant gold. You pay £17, you've got a lot of gold in your account. Now, what do you think you could maybe do with in-game gold? Oh, let's think. You can literally buy the top tier raid gear, like the highest item level stuff in the game. If you need materials to craft it yourself, you can just buy it.
Yeah.
And then what does that let you do? It lets you go through the end game content quicker to get even better loot.
Yeah.
So, whilst it sounds cool, because if you have 250,000 gold and you don't have real world money, you can get 30 days subscription time. And that is a viable way of doing it. So you can essentially play WoW for free.
Yeah.
If you play the game and if you maybe sell items and stuff. So that's cool. But again, like we talked in Lost Ark, the proportion between £17 for 30 days because you can't afford it, because you're a normal human, or you could literally go 17 quid, get a bucket load of gold, buy all the best things in the game.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Like if that was 10 quid, so it was only 3 quid difference between the subscription, and it wasn't worth that much gold, then it would be more justified for the people who've already, who want to maybe get a free month.
Yeah.
Seems a bit better. But yeah, so this is why WoW kind of skirts that, because it does. It has the pets, and admittedly expensive pets.
Yeah.
But you buying that Celestial Observer ensemble there doesn't make you better at the game. It's just purely cosmetic. So if you have £17, fine.
Yeah.
But if you don't get
right,
it.
You're right, yeah. So I get the difference now. So you're not just buying a skin and looking good with the gold. Like say when you play in GTA and you buy a shark card, that gives you a load of GTA money and you can go buy a car and whatever. So it's the difference is that then you can take that gold that you've just got with that token and then buy better weapons, better blah blah. Then you take into PvP and absolutely dominate.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if a new expansion comes out and you've got a couple of WoW tokens, cash them in, wait until everyone else clears the content a bit quicker than you or mines the materials to make the stuff. You buy it instantly off the auction house because you've got too much money. Make the thing you want, and then you go out and dominate the market or the PvP battleground. So that's where it's kind of gets a bit murky. But at least there is the option, if you do work hard, that you can get free game time, or sell the WoW token for more money. So it skirts that line of can buy, can't buy. The only thing I will say is you can't buy that Celestial Observer with anything but real world money.
Right.
So no matter how much gold you earn or how hard you work in the game, you can't get these things. So that's why I've put it second in the list rather than the final game. So again, kind of pay to win with certain things like this. Kind of not pay to win with things that you necessarily have to buy. They just give you a reward. It's like a loyalty card, that, isn't it? 6 months, get amount.
Exactly.
Thank you
It's not too bad, that.
Being loyal to us. Yeah.
So let's see this final game.
So the final game,
I'll let you load
where
it up.
I believe this is the most Corepunk fair and kind of goes along what you were just saying with Illumio's on Illumio's post about the pay to enter, play forever ethos, if you will. And
I'm just losing your camera a second while the game's loading up. I won't be a sec. You just go. Oh my! Oh, that was like the craziest dance move. I think I feel like cosmetics, like, so say Corepunk, we know that like special, you might be able to buy sort of spell colours, or you know what I mean, or casting colours.
Yeah, which we've talked about in other podcasts, haven't we?
Which I'm all for. I don't mind that. That's not like I'm the more stuff like that, which is purely cosmetic and can just give you a bit more individuality to your character, which you can either earn in game, which will be great. You know, if you can craft it, or you can collect it, or you can, you know what I mean, mine it. Or if I just go, you know what, today I just want to kit out my character into fucking nice gear. It's going to cost me a tenner. Maybe I could get a skin, I could get a paint job and a colour. You know what I mean? There's a pack. Say there was like this fucking, that I'm all for that. Because I'm not going to be, you know what I mean? And I'd probably pay a tenner a month. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. So, and this is where this last game comes as a kind of, it kind of hits that marker, because this game that doesn't have a subscription is doing well.
Right.
It's a healthy game. It's not the most popular game, but it's a healthy, well-balanced MMO.
And what is that game? Let's bring it over.
It's Guild Wars 2. So, Guild Wars 2 is a pay entry, then free to play for the rest of your life MMO. Yeah. Now, this is essentially what I feel like is the fairest
shop,
non-pay to win, just structure of how an MMO should be.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you just went on a bit of a tangent then and said, I'd love to pay a tenner to have like a package that gave me X, Y, Z, and I'll probably pay a tenner a month without even knowing it. And that's great, because that's exactly what Guild Wars essentially does really well. Is they update the stores, they have cool skins, new skins every, they rotate every few weeks, and they often package them in like these things cost X amount of gems, but if you buy them all together, it's only
so much,
X, Y, Z. So this is essentially the reason why I've put this at the end, and kind of feel like this is what we're going to kind of see from Corepunk, is that yes, you can see here that you can only buy with gems. Now, gems are a bought currency.
Yeah.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Mike, how is that fair to the people who've just bought the game and they don't have any money? They've spent all the money. And I go, well, hold on to your hat, because this is what changes the game for me and makes it that fair, genuine, everyone who puts in the effort can get a reward out of it. So you can get gems with in-game money. And the difference between how much it costs to earn the gold to convert it into gems is really reasonable. It's not an unfair.
So this is different to the way Lost Ark let you convert their in-game currency then, would you say?
Yeah. Because, yeah, definitely. Because the way you get, I mean, I know they're both blue gems, but it is kind of the same in that respect. Gold to blue gems in Lost Ark was really like to get a good amount to buy a skin, the amount of effort and gold you'd have to earn to transfer it into getting that skin was a lot of effort. In this game, it's very minimal if you are an active player. Like, you can earn plenty of gems to get all the cool cosmetic stuff without having to sell your soul or play the game 24 hours. So you can see here the lowest amount is 400 gems for 118 gold. If you do 3 very basic tasks a day, so you have daily quests, if you do 3 of them, you get 2 gold. Now, plus in the time that you'd maybe do those quests and those things, you probably earn, I don't know, you could easily get 3, 4, 5, 6 gold a day without actually doing anything.
Right.
So in kind of 10 days to a week, maybe say 2 weeks of really casual playing, like barely even, you're not spending more a couple of hours a day, if that, and not every day, you could get 400 gems.
Right.
No problem. Now, if you did some trading and if you mined some materials and stuff, you can be earning hundreds of gold a day. No problem. Like, not an issue. So you could easily be getting up to the 2,000 gem mark. Now, what makes this brilliant is there's a custom exchange. So if you only have so much gold, you can buy that much gold in gems. You don't have to wait till you get to the 400 mark. If you only have enough gold for 20 gems, you can get 20 gems.
Nice.
It's not blocking you.
Right.
And obviously, if you just do that and just keep sitting on the gems, or
You're working your way up,
like building your way up to saving, putting it into like a little savers account, then you can buy anything without limitation on this store.
Nice.
So if you put in a marginal amount of effort, and I mean it is marginal.
So everything on the store costs gems.
Yeah.
And the way you can get gems.
Can earn the gems.
Yeah, but you can either earn the gems by transferring game gold or buying the gems.
Yeah. And also I will say actually is the cost to actually buy the gems in the first place.
Careful what pops up here.
I was just thinking about that then. But yeah, I think 400 gems is £8, maybe. I think it might be less.
I think it's less than that. I think you can get like 2,000 gems.
Pull my screen down and I'll have a look. Pull my screen down.
Right, you're off. You can check. Your personal details will not be broadcast.
Oh yeah, so it's 800 gems for £8.50. And 8,000 gems for £85. So it's there's no saving for buying more, which I also find is good, because I find that a bit predatory sometimes, where they go, oh well, 800 gems is £8.50, but if you get double the amount, you can save a bit of money. Like, because that 800 gems is £8.50 always, whether you buy 8,000, 2,800. Or whatever. There's no disparity between that. So you can bring us back up now. People can't, unless you want to send me money,
No, well, I did nearly flick onto it for a second, but it was all blurry anyway, so it's all right. It's fine.
It's so good. So so this is purely, well, I mean, actually there is boosters and stuff in this, but the reason why I don't put it in the same level as World of Warcraft with that 50 quid boost is that actually to buy the boost in this game, I think a character boost is 2,000 gold. Maybe? Account Jumpstart. So this gives you, what does that give you? 2 bank expansions, 2 bag slot expansions, a Black Lion chest key, which is like a loot box. So that's probably the only luck-based thing that you can get in the game, like in terms of paying for things. You get 10 of them. Transmutation charges, which are to make your character look sick, and then some dice to obviously make them look sick again. But that's 2,000 gold. I'm trying to find the actual level boost one. Yeah, there you go. 2,000 gold. 2,000 gems, sorry. Which is
like 20 quid,
gold?
isn't it? 20, like, you know what I mean? If you were going to buy the gems, it's like 20 quid. So,
yeah.
Something like that.
But like I say, 500 gold you could probably get with maybe farming materials and doing a bit of crafting and stuff.
Yeah.
You could probably make that in a week or two with like some dedication.
Yeah, so if you play the game.
So if you play the game and you work hard and go, right, I'm going to get my next character a level 80 boost.
Yeah.
Work hard. You could easily get that. Not a problem. And that's why I think this is, whilst it does have the boost, which they have said, at least of time of writing, they aren't going to offer the boosts and stuff, which I think is a good move. And it's purely going to be cosmetic. That initial, say they price point the entry game at 20 quid. So everyone has to pay 20 quid. And then everything is cosmetic.
Yeah.
That's where it doesn't become pay to win, because me looking good doesn't make my character better.
No.
And
I'm all for it, like I said, that sort of stuff as well, where it is, maybe they'll have, we're going to, in the next episode, we're going to talk about base building and stuff like that. Yeah, little tease there for you, for the fans. But if it was stuff for the house, stuff that you can, you know what I mean, build.
I mean, this has stuff, the player housings in here as well.
Nice. So, I've took us off that screen, but
it's all right.
Yeah, the idea that, because that'll keep, you know, when you've dried up of content and you're just like, what can I do? I could buy little things to keep me invested, and you know what I mean? Or maybe, now I've got this brand new axe, I'll go out and do the same little loop or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and just hanging out. Imagine, like,
just hanging out.
Heavy community vibes. I feel like the guilds and stuff in it are going to be like really good. Like, imagine if you are just playing and you're doing a dungeon and stuff, and you bought that new axe, or you've bought a new mount skin, you know. Like, imagine just going, "Hey guys, look at this cool new thing I've got," and they'll be like, "Oh, sick." You know, and it was only at such and such. You know,
doesn't even need to be that sort of big, does it? It could be like a fishing rod, stuff like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just a skin for it. Yeah,
we're going fishing. Let's get some new fishing rods. We'll go do some fishing for a bit and chill out, or a boat skin, or you know what I mean? Yeah,
and that's it. It goes all the way from, like, so the initial question was they want to make it against pay to win. So how will they earn money? Essentially, it's that and this is my own personal opinion. I ain't a businessman, but I feel like if you don't force people to spend money, people will spend money.
Yeah.
If you have to pay a subscription, you have to pay an entry, you have to pay to get your character to where you want it to be, people just won't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are given the freedom to build your own house, play your character as much or as little as you want, and you see, like you say, we're going fishing, and you just happen to see on the store, oh my god, there's like a new cool, like, diamond encrusted fishing rod that looks really sick, and it's £3.50. How many people are going to buy that?
I'm buying it.
Arguably, that's going to be more people than forcing a £10 subscription on top of it. So that's how they'll make money.
Could make stuff like you know, for like the bombers, where they've got like, did they have rollerblades on? I'm thinking in one of them they've got rollerblades on, the girl, or have I just made that up in my head?
Oh God!
I'm checking the website. Let me check their heroes as bomber.
I feel like it is, because we mentioned Lucio, which was like from.
It doesn't show her feet. I can't see her feet on the thing. But, you know what I mean? If there was like a character trail that you could buy, like different coloured character trails, or, you know what I mean? You're walking around and it just gives this nice glow, weapon glow, lanterns. But the other nice side of that would be if you can craft these items, and how much would it be to craft? And we'll get into that in the next episode as well. If you know what I mean, of how deep does the crafting go?
Yeah, and I think that's where then people's. So if we went off gospel of what they've said of pay to entry, you pay £20, $20, €20, whatever it is, and then everything in the store is cosmetic, non-necessary purchases. I think then the discussion splits from pay to win, pay to progress, and all those nasty terms to, well, should you only be able to get that skin in the store?
Yeah.
Or should you be able to craft it with hard work? And then the argument is, well, if I can craft it for free, why should I pay for it? And then the term convenience comes into it, which, like I say, we'll probably dive into a lot more in the next episode. But I think convenience in a day and age where we've got 1,000,001 things to do, if you can play the game and you've got 20 hours and you can make a pink weapon glow skin, chef's kiss. And if you don't have 20 hours to sink in, but you've got a tenner, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Right. And I think this episode's been a chef's kiss. There you go.
It has. It's been good. So yeah, we don't think it's going to be pay to win.
No,
I think
that's
they'll earn plenty of money as long as they stick to the ethics of not screwing the consumer over. Because if you feel good as a consumer, I will spend as much money as I want.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel pressured.
No. But yeah, if you have got any more questions, any thoughts, put them in the comments. We've been enjoying having topics to go off from your questions. It gives us something to think about.
It does give us, and we did, what was it, PvP last time? That was fun.
Yeah.
And like I say, we've already teased it that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we're going to do crafting,
player housing. If you've got any ideas, then, let us know what you think.
That's going to be more of it's going to be more of a speculation thing. So if you have got some crazy ideas that you'd like to see in Corepunk regards to crafting and player housing, or examples of what you'd like to see, put them in the comments and we'll mention it next time in the episode.
Until they tell us, there's no wrong answers.
No.
And if I want dog kennels and I can store a load of huskies in my garden, in my player
100%.
house, then I'm going to believe that happens until they tell me otherwise.
What we'll do is, if whatever you want to be in on the crafting and player house building side, let's get it in an episode and we'll post it to the developers and say, look, you want this to be good.
This is what your team, this is what your viewers
crunch,
and your players want.
Get everyone to work right now on this.
Yeah. What do you mean we want mechanical gnomes that are house servants? Oh, okay, let's do it. What do you mean we can monetize that with several different skins for £3.50 each?
We'll do it. Exactly. There we go.
Welcome, Artificial Core.
Right. Until next time, thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.
Bye.